Hi, I'm Ben. I'm the founder and builder of Pickled.App, the best app for pickleball you've probably never heard of. And I'm hoping to change that. So like a lot of people, I started playing pickleball in 2020 during the pandemic. My wife and I had just moved down to Mexico, old Mexico, down on the Caribbean. We were living in a condo on the beach. And because of the lockdown, pretty much everybody went back to their home country. But we actually moved down there full time, and so that was our home country. So we found ourselves there with about 6 other couples, one of whom was an avid pickleball player, and kept trying to get me to play this game with a ridiculous name. So finally we got around to going out, and of course we had a great time because if you've ever played pickleball, it's a blast. But I really had no idea what was coming next. So despite living in what sounds like paradise, I was going through some pretty heavy stuff. We had a devastating family loss. I was dealing with a lot of depression about that, and of course drinking way too much. But there were days, many days, when somebody needing a fork to play pickleball was really the only reason I got out of the house. So pickleball became about much more than just the game for me. So needless to say, I played a lot of pickleball. You'd think I'd be better, but eventually the lockdowns loosened and we needed to get a bit more organized. But the tools out there for doing signups, organizing events, terrible. Most of the time coordinating meetups involves somebody sending a text message to a group, 20 people replying saying, I'm not coming. I don't know why people do that. If you're not coming, just don't say anything. We eventually started using an app for signups, and it made things a little better, but all the basic features that you really would want were behind a paywall. So that was kind of prohibitive for most people. So then people started running some tournaments, which I thought was awesome, but to be honest, they were a bit of a mess. They used paper for keeping track of scores. A lot of times people didn't know who they were supposed to be playing with or against next. There was long gaps in between games, the random team assignment. So I was witnessing a lot of problems firsthand, just in my own experience, just trying to play at a rec level with a group of friends. Granted, the group was, had grown to probably 100 and some odd people at that point. But coordinating who's going to be where, when, was no easy task. So I've been a software developer for over 30 years. And at that point, I had already built and bootstrapped 2 companies, basically from concept to acquisition and final acceptance. So I figured, I don't have a lot on my plate. Maybe I could build something better. I mean, how hard could it be, right? Famous last words. Now, the backstory of Pickled.App would not be complete without mentioning blockchain. So some of you may remember that the pandemic was also the height of the crypto craze. Turns out my role in that was basically a bag holder for a whole bunch of node projects that were actually more like Ponzi schemes. So yeah, I was one of very few people that during the height of the crypto craze was actually losing money. So to all you that made money, you're welcome. But anyways, back to the app. So this was all going on. Pickleball was going on. Originally, my vision called to integrate a rec sports app with the blockchain, because it actually did solve some real world problems that are present in rec level sports. And honestly, I think it was a good idea. And I still think it's a good idea. But the reality was sentiment had changed, and changed pretty dramatically. I actually came close to getting deplatformed, or maybe it wasn't deplatformed. Let's just say I got a timeout from one of the major business platforms that I had been a member of for a very long time, just for mentioning crypto. And because the original company name actually had the word crypto in it, I couldn't get a bank account. So all this was pretty wild. I mean, I wasn't pitching some scam. I'd been in the software industry for 30 years. I'd built 2 companies, but you can't fight the system. So crazy as that was, and it was crazy, I just sort of shrugged it off, literally changed the name of the business to remove the word crypto, and then scrubbed any reference to blockchain or crypto. Because the reality is that this app was multi-layered, and underneath of it all was to be a great app that people would want to use for signups and to mix up their games. So I felt strongly the app had legs on its own. Didn't really need the blockchain aspect, although it would have helped. It was sort of icing on the cake. What people really needed was a good solid app for signups and to mix up their games. And I knew I could deliver that. So that was a long way of saying the company was founded in 2022. It's gone through one name change within just a few months. And we launched the app about 6 months after we started. So far I've logged over 5,500 hours into this project myself, plus many, many tens of thousands of dollars. Early on, I had a few other contributors that were involved. But once they realized it wasn't just going to be a fun side hustle and there was going to be a lot of work involved and they may not get paid, they kind of went to the wayside, and I definitely don't blame them. So for the most part, it's been pretty much just me pushing this project forward. Although I have had some help, and I really do appreciate the help that I had. And hope that I will have help again. Perhaps some of you will be able to help just by making some comments. I've learned a lot just from reading and observing other people and their channels and the comments that people make there. So even though it's been really hard, I still believe in the app and the vision as much as I ever have. In fact, more, I think, than I ever have now. The app works. People who use it actually do love it. It saves time, eliminates hassle, lets organizers focus on playing the game and not endless text messages. And that's what it's all about, is playing, right? Having a great time together. And it's a completely free app. So if I can pull this off, my vision for the app, it will always be fully featured and free. Look, the bottom line is, I'm not a marketer, I'm not an influencer, but I really feel like I built something great. And it's getting better every single day. And I think it deserves a shot. So this YouTube channel is basically my Hail Mary, trying to get some awareness out there and see if some people will give it a try. And it's also an opportunity to tell a story, I think. How difficult it actually is to build an app, market it from scratch, especially when you're post 50. So today actually marks the 3-year anniversary of Lesser Fool Group, not to be confused with Lesser Fool Crypto. Those guys. The truth is, this company's never taken in 1 cent of revenue. And I'm really working to change that this year. With your help, I might be able to pull it off. So here's what you can expect from this channel. Of course, there's going to be twists and turns, and I really don't know myself. But here's what I think you can expect from this channel. First and foremost, the reality of bootstrapping your own business. It can be very painful. It's a lot of hard work. Some people manage to just pull it off and just go right to the moon. That's just not my story. Secondly, this channel is going to focus on how to run amazing events. So if you're looking to improve your backhand, this probably won't be the channel. And yeah, on occasion, I am going to bring up blockchain because I personally find it fascinating. And for better or worse, I truly believe that at some point in the not too distant future, blockchain is going to be part of all of our daily lives. I may be wrong, but I don't think I am. So if you ever tried to organize an app and you find yourself buried in texts or emails, Pickled.App is for you. Give it a try. So we just dropped our first YouTube short, which I'll link to below, called Smash Course. And this is the first in a series of short videos that basically just show you 1 or 2 features within the app, kind of in a condensed format. Like, for example, how do you create an event for your friends to sign up for? If nothing else, please follow along and just see how this all plays out. Thank you very much for watching to the end. All right, what are you doing here? Go play pickleball.